What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. It's me again. My name's Chad Medved. Welcome to my podcast. I talk to interesting people about what they do and how they got to that point in life. We're out here trying to function in this corona-riddled world. Week after week, we're trying to get guests in here. We're trying to make it work. And, it's been going well. We had a great guest last week, Selena Pompiani. Great reviews. Had 1,000 people messaging me saying that, they enjoyed the episode. Who am I kidding? Not 1,000, but decent amount. I appreciate it, all right? I appreciate everyone that hits me up and gives me some good feedback. If you appreciate what I do at the podcast, I implore you to please scroll up on your app that you're on right now and smash that subscribe button. If you have a couple seconds, please leave me a rating and review as well. That is a huge, huge help for me, for the small guys doing the podcast. I ain't no Rogan, so people don't know who I am. But if you leave me a good rating and review, people see it. They're like, damn, this kid got 155 5-star reviews. Let's get it. And I do. I got 155 right now. I would love to get to 200. So if you could find it in your heart to take a second and scroll down, smash that 5th star all the way to the right. That'll give me a great rating. And if you want to give me a nice review, I would appreciate that as well. A couple nice words never hurt no one, right? If you got nothing nice to say, just scroll on past it, please. God knows there's enough negativity up in this world. You know that? And, I work too hard for that. I'm putting in good quality work over here. I ain't cutting no corners with this podcast. But with all the negativity in this world, we got all kinds of positive coming up. First thing is first. So, Turner Dairy Farms, the creators of the legendary Turner's Premium Iced Tea. They have been in business for 90 years. They're just killing it all around. Recently, they dropped a brand new merchandise drop that you could find at turnerdairy.net right now. Click on the store and look down at all the shit that they got. They put out all kinds of new stuff. There were 2 very, very great hats that I'm sorry to say are sold out. But if you message Turner's enough, send them 1,000 messages, maybe they might do another run of them. Who knows? They got all kinds of other stuff on there. Really, really cool stickers. I was going to buy these mason jars that they had. There's mason jars that have Turner's printed on the side of them, and I was going to grab them, but they sold out immediately. There's a Frisbee on there. There's a sick die-cut sticker of a Turner's crate, and they have this limited edition Turner's Table t-shirt. That's kind of a tongue twister. But a Turner's Table t-shirt is probably one of my favorite pieces that I've seen out of this drop. It's a limited edition t-shirt, which has this super cool logo on it. So a Turner's Table is the following, okay? You hear the name Turner's Table and you're like, what could that be? But if you're listening to the podcast and you're not looking at it right now, it's 2 big ass speakers, back in the day, old school speakers. And then there's a crate of records. And on top of this crate of records, there is a Turner's milk crate that is flipped over. And on top of that is a record player. And it's such a cool logo. The logo is so sick. It just reminds me of my dad. It reminds me of Dazed and Confused. People were rolling up a little something in a joint. People were listening to, Led Zeppelin, little Ozzy. Come on. What more can you want? Little record player. That's all nostalgia. That's all nostalgia, this t-shirt. But I do have to tell you that it is only available until August 15th. So you got today and you got tomorrow. So if you got a second, hop on over there and grab yourself one, because once they're gone, they are gone. With all the awesome merchandise that Turner's is putting out right now, they're doing all kinds of other stuff. They got their single serve cottage cheese. They got their pints. They ain't stopped yet. But on top of all this, they do these limited edition milks every now and again, and they're all fantastic, all right? You got all kinds of delicious flavors. My favorite so far is the birthday cake, hands down. I haven't had a better milk in my entire life. And, I don't know if any milk that they put out is going to surpass that for me, I have to tell you. But I don't know. Maybe their next flavor is gonna be the reigning champion. So on August 17th, they're dropping chocolate banana. Yep, chocolate banana limited edition milk. And I mean, what goes better than chocolate and banana? I don't know. I don't know if there's a pair that match better than that. Maybe peanut butter and jelly, but I'll take a chocolate banana even over peanut butter and jelly. But I am excited to try this milk. I don't know if it's going to be better than the birthday cake in my book, but I'm excited to try it out, and I will definitely let you know what I think about it. But on top of this limited edition chocolate banana milk that they're putting out, they are putting out another. They're putting out an alcoholic version of it. They're putting out another collab with Grist House. So, I mean, what more can you want? Chocolate banana milk, but this is an adult version. This is just a big kid version. It's an alcoholic version of this chocolate banana milk, and you already know it's going to be good. But so Grist House is a brewery in Millville, all right? They have a super dope place. I mean, back in normal times, whenever people were allowed out, they got a cool place. You could bring your dog there. There's a fireplace. They got food trucks popping there all the time. And Turner's has worked with them in the past to do different releases of their milk slash stout beers, like all the stuff. Like if they do a collab, they're doing it with Grist House, and this brand new one that they're coming out with is Utterly Bananas Porter. I mean, can you believe how good that sounds? Utterly Bananas Porter. So it's a chocolate banana porter beer. It's limited edition as usual, and I'm going to tell you, the last run that they did, I can't remember which one was it. It might have been the chocolate strawberry stout. Maybe that's it. I can't even remember, but I went there and there was a line around the block. And, I had to wait in line. I waited in line and I got myself a 6-pack of it. Actually, it might have been the cookies and cream. Yeah, I think that's what it was, cookies and cream. But I know that this thing is going to go quick. And, we're in this COVID time, all right? And it's kind of sketchy. It's kind of sketchy. No one knows where they could go out. And, you don't know what's going on. So the way that this is going to happen is you're going to go on Grist House website and you could order online. All right, this beer is dropping Friday, August 14th at 8 p.m. And I'm telling you, it's going to be like a Supreme drop. You better jump on there and grab yourself one before it sells out. Again, go on Grist House website and you could order this Utterly Bananas Porter on Friday, August 14th at 8 p.m. So after you order this, if you get one, all right, you'll go to Grist House the next day to pick it up. So order it online, get you one reserved, and then the next day on a Saturday, get up nice and early, go maybe ride your bike over to Millville, go take a ride over there, and grab yourself a nice 6-pack. Maybe grab two of them, and get yourself enough to make it last through the weekend. You can get messed up, on some chocolate bananas. What more could you want in life? But I appreciate Turner Dairy Farms and all the people over at Turner's for, believing in the podcast, working with me. And, it's an honor for me to be able to say that I'm sponsored by Turner's Tea. Come on now. Turner's Tea, there ain't nothing better in the world than that. But the reason that everyone is here. So we have an absolutely great episode this week. I'm talking to an artist by the name of LYESOL, LYESOL. All right. If you want to check out his work, go on Instagram right now and see what he's doing. All right. It's at DIET_40OZ at diet_40 ounce. Yeah. I said that quick enough. At diet_40 ounce. And you could check out his work. This dude is someone that I've been following for some years, and I can't remember how exactly we came across each other, but, I linked up with him on Instagram through like a giveaway. I ended up winning one of his giveaways, and I ended up meeting him in Southside and picking up a flash sheet. And then after that, I bought some more flash sheet for family and friends as Christmas gifts. And so basically LYESOL is an artist that grew up around the city who, I think he's a unique artist. I think he's unique because, he does a lot of the old school tattoo flash type art, but he's not a tattooer. And he'll be the first one to tell you that he's not a tattooer. He's not a graffiti writer. He's not a tattooer. He's just someone that loves art, and he loves making things that give him that creative drive. You know what I mean? Some of his works that he's done that are a couple of his bigger projects. He has 2 Seinfeld flash sheets that are awesome. They're these fat ass, huge flash sheets of all this Seinfeld stuff. He got a Breaking Bad one. He got one for It's Always Sunny that he just put out. And the dude is mad talented. Whenever he came over to interview with me, he ended up bringing me all these gifts. So he made me a original of the I'll Call You Right Back brick cell phone with the strawberry on it and everything. And it's the coolest piece that anyone has ever made me, hands down. Like super, super dope. And just a really, really great guy. We talk about everything from, how someone gets into art and like how someone, it's unique because this dude definitely like looks like he has like a tattooer style, but he doesn't tattoo. And like I said, we talk about, his journey of, being a tattoo apprentice and how that kind of like fell apart a little bit and why he didn't get back into it. And it's super interesting. And I think it's respectable that, he kind of is just very, very upfront. He wears it all on the sleeve. He tells you, he tells you it up front, and he tells you that he just doesn't want to be considered, like a poser or something like that. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't want to be called out by people. And I think that that's super fair. But if you click on his Instagram, you'll see right there, not a tattoo maker, but I'm telling you, I'm going to get that piece that he drew for me tattooed right on my skin because that's how sick it was. And our whole conversation is so great. Like this whole episode is a perfect example of something that, I'm sure that this is a dude that not a lot of people that are listening right now would ever come across. You know what I mean? What's the reasoning for you to come across him unless there is, a mutual friend or something like that? But we had this conversation that was just incredible, talking about tattooing and talking about pinball. Him and his girl are insane pinball freaks. They are heavy into it. We get into that. We get into the whole history of like, what happened to where he wanted to become someone who's just doing like these prints and everything like that. And, he ended up, hitting me up and he was like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this giveaway. And I was like, all right, dope, let's do one. And he went super overboard. So this giveaway is going to consist of one of every flash sheet that he's made. Okay. So 5 flash sheets. Then it has 4 original pieces that he made. And I'm going to be posting a picture around noon today on Thursday just for this giveaway. It'll have everything in the giveaway. And like I said, there's going to be 5 flash sheets, 4 originals, more stickers than you could ever use. There's going to be an I'll Call You Right Back mug. There's going to be a bunch of I'll Call You Right Back stickers. And, I was pumped that he wanted to do this giveaway. Like he didn't have to give away all this artwork, but he was super cool. Our conversation was fantastic. Just a really, really great guy. And I'm happy that we ended up getting to sit down and talk because this is a perfect example. Like I said, a lot of people probably wouldn't come across LYESOL at all, but he is, he's someone that I feel like flies under the radar that just like it was such a great conversation and I was like blown away by it. But I was just, like that's why I do it. I'm so happy to like talk to just random people. And that's the goal of the podcast is like, my job is to find cool people that are doing awesome things in the city and, find a way for them to talk about their life in an organic way to let people learn about them and let people like understand what makes them tick. And I think that this episode was a success, absolutely a success. And, I'm happy to I'm pumped to let everyone hear it. So like I said, we are doing a giveaway. It'll be at noon. I'll be posting a picture of all the shit that you could win. You have to do the same thing that you do with all the rest of them. Like the post, follow me at I'll Call You Right Back, and follow at DIET_40OZ. at diet_40 ounce. And, click on the post. I'll have him tagged and everything. Follow me, follow him, and then tag 2 people that just really, really dig Flash. You know what I mean? Like, all of his work is dope. People just, like, I use an example as one of my cousins has a really, 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 he's a huge Seinfeld fan, all right? And he's not someone that buys artwork himself. Like, I don't ever envision him just going out and buying himself an art piece. And I ended up seeing this. I never watched Seinfeld. We talk about that in here. And I knew that he had to have it, and he was pumped to get it. So, without further ado, episode 129 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Lysol.
Telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. And we don't have AC. Like there's AC upstairs in our bedroom, but it's like in here it's just hot. You can't really do shit about it.
It's uncomfortable right now, man.
I cannot stop sweating.
I was breathing that Claritin air.
Yeah,
and
so
heat.
you were ready to roll.
I got asthma.
And you got asthma
just from being down there.
You got that triple threat. Yeah, I didn't know you frequented over there at all, so that's pretty funny. Have you ever been to that? What's it called over there? What's that hot dog shop over there? You ever been to that hot dog shop?
Hooves, right on State Street.
It's the main road right there?
Yeah, the little red place to the right.
Yeah.
They have great French fries. They've since closed.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought about that place the other day randomly because, we were talking about different, like, hot dog places and, like the Caboose and all that shit. And then we ended up hitting that Brighton hot dog shop down there.
Yeah.
And I never been there before, and it was just unreal good.
Yeah.
And I think that was, I grew up like you're familiar with the Caboose, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everyone swears by the Caboose. They say it's the best thing in the world, but it's just like, it's mediocre hot dogs and mediocre concession stand fries. But it's just cheap.
Yeah.
So kids skip school. We would skip school and we go eat there, and everyone's like, fuck yeah, you get like 4 hot dogs and 2 things of fries for like $8. So it's hard to beat, but everyone's mind is so like wired to thinking that it's so much better than it is. And I'm just like, it ain't that good.
Yeah.
We're adults. You could buy $1 extra hot dog if you want to have a better product.
Exactly.
So I've been on the search for just random hot dog shops, and I think the Brighton hot dog shop might be the elite right now.
I can see that holding top tier. Had you ever had an O hot dog?
I don't think I've ever had their hot dogs. I think one time whenever we were skating the Reason Gap down there, I had do they have gravy fries?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had their gravy fries. I just remember sitting, watching my buddy try to ollie the Reason Gap and just eating this messy bowl of gravy fries.
35 pounds of fries, and it's a small.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy big. And like the O, they've closed too, right?
Yeah.
And now, was that before the pandemic or?
I think that was cause of the pandemic. It was like right in the first couple weeks because everybody was bummed. They're like, "Oh, I'm locked in the house," and the O closed.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get a last dog.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had their hot dogs there. Didn't they like deep fry them or some shit?
I think so. Yeah.
Something weird like that. To be honest, I never really frequented the city ever. Like I stayed in Elizabeth, and if we ever did come to the city, it was to go to the Beehive, not like the coffee shop Beehive, but the skate shop or the skate spot Beehive, and then just random skate spots. But like I was never really like, mingling around. Like I never went to the Strip really. I never went any of these places, and now like I have this bike, dude, and I'm just like going all over, and it's just like blowing my mind.
Going like everywhere.
It's like
a whole new world.
It really is.
You get to see shit you'd never see from a car.
Exactly. It's crazy how much ground you could cover on, and how much like and just like how much better it feels to do that.
Yeah.
Even if it's hot as fuck out, you're just like ripping around the town, and it just feels great. Did you know about that penitentiary that was in Northside?
Down on 65. Like if you follow the trail to the very end.
Yeah. I never knew that was there.
Neither did I. And then we went on a bike ride the one day. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, someone took me there, and I was like, what is this building? And they're like, oh, this was an old penitentiary. And I was like, you know, like I don't know anything about the city really. You know,
Yeah.
it's wild.
I'm from the South Hills, so like I know nothing but the South Hills, like
Yeah.
Century 3 Mall area, South Hills Village area. But like you drop me in Washington County, I'm boned. Or like anywhere north of Cranberry.
Yeah, dude, I'm not good with directions at all. All right, so I just took a crack open of that What's in the Cup. So I do an opening segment with everyone. It's called What's in the Cup. What is in your cup?
I'm drinking the finest only tea in Pittsburgh, Diet Turner's.
Now I swear that this is probably the first time I've ever had a Diet Turner's, and I think it tastes fantastic.
Oh, it's tight.
It says 0 sugars, 0 added sugars, and I wish that I would have got a regular one just to compare the amount of sugar in a regular Thug Jug compared to a diet one, because I think a regular one might have like 68 grams.
I think it could be.
Something like that.
I don't know. It's been probably 12 years since I had a regular
Really?
Turner's.
What got you off of it?
See, like, I've always been a huskier dude. I'd say I'm sturdy.
Yeah.
And, like, I realized you just drink calories. You drink a can of pop, it's 100-some calories.
Crazy.
You're like, I'm just packing on pounds for nothing.
Yeah.
Empty calories.
That's a good
And
point.
that's where my whole Instagram handle came from. Trying to buy beers, be like, oh, let me get a diet 40 ounce.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good like segue into it all. I feel like that people don't really think about that because I'm one of them. Like I remember going to my buddy's house and we would play pool and just like I would chain smoke a pack of cigarettes and drink a gallon of Turner's tea.
Yeah.
And you're just like, that's like 1,000 grams of sugar, so you're probably gonna die soon. And empty calories. So
Exactly. I have friends that are diabetics.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'll go for diet.
yeah.
And it's nice because people look at me and they're like, what, you trying to maintain your girlish figure? And I'm
Yeah.
like, actually, I am.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like it's a lot of sugar. Sugar's terrible.
yeah.
I'd rather eat a lot of baked goods, but Diet Turner's tea is not bad, I have to say. Out of a Thug Jug, do they have I assume they have Diet Turner's pints.
Oh, yeah. They have all the way up through gallon.
I'm going to have to try the Diet Turner pint because I do think the pint tastes better. What about the squirt bottle?
I don't know.
You ever have the squirt bottle?
Yeah, I feel like you can only get that at like select Kogos.
Select places.
Yeah, I feel like more people need to open up to that.
Did you know that Turner's has an unsweetened tea?
I did not.
Right? It's
Like
crazy.
Black tea?
Yeah, it's just like the regular tea, no sugar, no nothing. It's just
Wow.
brewed tea. The only place I've ever found it is Penmac.
Really?
Penmac, and I think one place up in, I want to say it was like on the way to whenever I was going to Erie. It was some like weird bodega out in the cut, but I've never seen it in anything else but the plastic pints, like the plastic little bottles.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like a diet tea because it doesn't have like the yellow hit on it, I don't
Yeah.
think, but it's good. I love unsweetened tea. I'm usually an unsweetened tea guy.
I'll have to try that.
Penmac. That's the way to find it. So, I was trying to think of how we came across each other in the beginning, and I feel like it had to be through an art giveaway because
It had to have been through the gram. And I
yeah,
don't
definitely Instagram. It was
I don't know if
definitely
I started following you or you started following me, and then I did a week of giveaways. And I know you won one.
yeah.
And it was, I don't know, it was.
And that's
had to have
whenever I
been
met you in Southside.
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
It had to be because I was working at a store down in Southside, and I haven't worked there for probably like 3 years.
Okay.
And I believe whenever I met you, we were still in the first location. That's why I thought it was like maybe like 4 years ago. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, you were on that side, the same side as One Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah. Then it had to be that. But I ended up on Instagram, and then I ended up seeing that you were doing a bunch of different flash sheets, and I remember buying flash sheets for Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Seinfeld ones.
Hell yeah.
And my cousin is a huge Seinfeld fan, and I have to say that he's not someone that would go out and buy art for himself.
Yeah.
And I knew that he would love it, and he did love it.
That's how like 90% of the people who find that sheet,
Yeah.
they're like, I don't even like tattoos, but I will collect anything Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And like there's a dude over in Cincy has the biggest Seinfeld collection I've ever seen. Like I'm talking about signed jerseys and like Ass Man license plates signed. And
You're a big Seinfeld fan.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, I've never watched it. You know that, right? Never.
it's top tier.
Now, let me ask you, do you think it's top tier? Now, if you have not watched it,
Okay.
let's say you haven't watched it. I know it's hard to think about this, but if you haven't watched it and you tried to watch it now, do you think you'd love it as much?
Yeah, because it's still Larry David's writing,
Yeah.
and I probably didn't start watching it until, I don't know, maybe 2013, 2014.
Okay.
It's still like not relevant, but relevant.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I think I've watched probably like 4 episodes maybe. I watched a commissary episode where Kramer is feeding that horse like the beefaroni
Yup.
and the horse shits, and I watched that, and it's funny. Like, I'm not saying it ain't funny, but I remember whenever I would come home from high school or middle school or whatever, turn on the TV and Seinfeld would be on, I'd immediately shut it off. And I would go and I'd put on a movie.
I was the same way. I was like, oh, this is a dumb show for
Yeah.
adults. But like,
I just didn't get it.
now I can relate to it because like,
I bet.
I feel George. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, nothing goes right. This
Absolutely.
is perfect.
And now that I've watched like a little bit of like Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of it, but it's just like Larry David is like, I feel like he's so relatable to every single human being because every single situation that he experiences is a situation that every human experiences at least once.
Absolutely.
Whether it be someone in traffic or some shit like that, and he like highlights it in such a way that you're like, this dude literally hates everyone.
Yup.
Yeah, and I enjoy it.
It's crazy to me how they made a whole series about things that happen in life where you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
And everybody has those moments.
yeah. How many seasons is Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh, they're way up there.
It got to be like 20 some, right?
Side note, I've never seen an episode.
Of Curb?
Yeah.
Really?
I keep hearing great things about it, but I can't pull the trigger and pay for a subscription.
What is it on? I guess you have to have some sort of stream.
Yeah.
You don't have no Netflix or nothing.
I borrow a Hulu and a Netflix from some friends.
Do you watch a lot of TV? Not too much?
Not too much.
I've recently just began It's Always Sunny. That's another thing that I never got into,
dude.
just random shows, and I know that it's great. I know it is. I know it's hilarious, and I know it got to be good for how long it's been on. And I'm like 4 episodes in. I just watched Charlie Has Cancer, and I think it's great. I just need to commit to it.
Wait until Frank shows up.
I know.
And you're going to be like,
it's the best.
The penguin is actually a maniac. Like,
I've watched him jump out of. I've watched Who Pooped the Bed.
oh God,
I've watched him come out of the couch, all greased up, and I've watched like random ones. But I love Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Like there ain't nothing better than Danny DeVito, and it's so bizarre to me that he is, Frank in that series, and he's been doing it for so long. Because I just don't see him doing that. I see him as like twins or like shit like that. It's very very weird how. And another thing that I notice is Always Sunny would never be allowed to be on right now. Their first season.
Oh no,
Never.
no.
You got Tranny. They're saying Tranny in like the second episode, and it's like you're getting roasted alive if you do that now.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I'm anxious to see how. I'm anxious to see the show progress as I watch it because you can rip through them. I ripped through like 4 the other night.
oh yeah,
But it's good. But you just did that flash sheet.
yeah. I just did Always Sunny. Before that, I did Breaking Bad.
Yes.
I had 2 different Seinfeld sheets.
I got the one with the junior mints on it.
Okay, that's the first one. The second one has like a whole nother gamut.
Yeah.
From like every episode, you can pull like 2 topics to
Gamut. What does that mean?
like the whole run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Gamut. That's a good word.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, where does like are you always like an artistic person?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I guess I got it from my dad.
Yeah.
He never like drew or did anything with art. He was always a blue collar dude and like
Yeah.
never really did that. But I learned from him that he could draw with both hands at the same time. He's
Really?
left-handed, yeah. And like,
Ambidextrous.
yeah, ambidextrous, that's the word. I've seen him draw like that and just like doodles. Like you're
Yeah.
on the phone, you do doodle. And like, it's crazy to me. And I saw that from him. And
Envelope artists.
yeah.
That's what it is.
And
dude.
like he never did anything real with it. Just
Yeah.
doodles here and there.
My dad was real nice with it. Had nice, like super nice handwriting.
Yeah.
All that shit. And I think his came from his classes that he's taken to be like a drafter or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he ended up building houses, but like he went to school for like CAD type shit.
Yeah.
But back then there was not AutoCAD.
It was all by hand.
All by hand.
That's remarkable.
It is. It's pretty crazy because like whenever I went to CCAC, I was like the last year that they had a hand drafting class. So I have like the big ass kit. I had to tape down all these papers, and like in high school, our teacher made us do that shit too, which was dope. Like it was cool to learn how to do that because I have never been someone who has been able to like draw or anything.
Yeah.
So like me being able to use like a ruler and shit like that, it was nice to be able to put something on paper that looked decent. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I feel that. And the coolest thing about like those dudes that do the drawings is they all have this crazy handwriting where I think the bottom bar of letters always slants like from right to left downward. So like
Yeah.
the bottom bar of an E.
Yeah.
And like you can look at people's handwriting and immediately be like, oh, that dude's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
an architect.
It's wild because the company that I work in they're old school. Like they still use hard copies. Like we're using all hard copies, destroying millions of trees. But they're just it's an old company. We have like 10 people with us, and there's like 10 people in the office, and there is like 20 people in the warehouse. But it's like, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we just have like rooms of filing cabinets.
Yeah.
But if I go and open up files from like ones that are like 1995 and shit like that, where it's like hand drawings and like the writing and everything, there ain't no one that has nicer handwriting than people that did like drafting and everything.
Yup.
Because that was a requirement. You had to do that.
Yeah.
And
Anybody had to be able to read it.
It's wild to me because it's like everyone could read that, but it's like, doctors can't read shit that they say.
No.
But I think that's on purpose.
Yeah.
So no one could yeah. What do you think now being someone now that we're on this topic, what do you think about the topic of teaching cursive in high school?
Oh, I'm all for it.
To do it or to take it away?
To do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even basic script is beautiful.
Yeah.
And, like, even if it's like a one semester class and you just get the idea of what it is.
Yeah.
It's like cursive in its plainest form is like a super simplified script where, like, almost sloppy regular writing.
Yeah.
Like a Gothic writing.
Just runs together.
Yeah. And, like, I'm a letter nerd.
Yeah.
Like,
you like typography, stuff like
yeah.
that?
Yeah, like I dabble in sign painting.
Yeah.
And like the fundamentals of letters where you look at it and you're like, okay, that's a nice looking sign. That like there's so much to that where it blew my mind. But yeah, no, cursive in school, absolutely.
I think it's bizarre to think about students not learning that. And I don't know if it's necessarily just because I learned it in school and, that's just like, not part of the curriculum. So that's why it sounds weird. But like, I just feel like that it's like almost like we're taking every sort of avenue away to just digitalize everything. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I love writing in a notebook.
Yeah.
I love I don't read that much, but if I do read, like I can't read a Kindle.
No.
I can't read. I need to have a book. I need to have it in front of me.
Yep. Tangible.
It's exactly it. And it's like if I write things, like I've been told that I have very nice handwriting, but I think it's just because my dad and going to them drafting classes, and it's just like I love letters. Like they look beautiful. I remember in like middle school, we had to do this like old Civil War research paper. I think I was in like 6th grade, and you had to write this Civil War based like letter or something, and mine was like 5 pages, and I like cursive wrote it all so it looked like it was in a little journal, and I tried to dip it in tea, fucked it all up. All the ink ran, but I wanted it to look like real old, like an old journal and shit. But I feel like that's so sick. Like there's so much like character to all that.
One thing I got into recently with painting flash is using a nib pen.
What's that?
Like the old school pens where they would dip it in the
quill
ink.
pen.
Yeah, like a quill pen. They don't teach that in school anymore.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like that hasn't been taught for a long time, right?
Yeah, but like that's interesting.
Now, is that something that you would consider like just like almost like an elective, like a calligraphy type course?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember we had these things in Elizabeth Forward called exploratory, where every Wednesday each of your classes were cut like 10 minutes short or something.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you would have an exploratory period. And that was like a period you could sign up for like this whole sheet of like wild like wild things. You can do anything from like chess, paper football, and it's just like a mental break away. But one time I had calligraphy for 1 year. That was super dope. You had the markers with like the flat
The chisel tip.
yeah, chisel tips. I never knew what those were called. Chisel tip markers. And just to like, I remember being that like in that grade and like watching my art teacher and like how it was so precise for her not to like, because if I write with a pencil,
Yeah.
you write a sentence and then you turn it nonchalantly, like without even thinking about it in your hand.
Yeah.
Because you round it to the sharper edge again.
Yep.
But for calligraphy, you don't turn it at all.
No.
And that's what adds the flair to it.
Yeah, like all your verticals are all wide and like thick and thin style.
And any diagonal is very thin.
Yep.
And like the old English style. And I
Yeah.
think it's so dope to like be able to like see that. And I get lost on Instagram. There's a dude that has a sign painting Instagram page.
Yeah.
And he just paints numbers on cars. And I'll watch it for hours. And I don't get it.
That's what got me into it. I was like, man, I want to try this. And then
That's dope.
I realized I was terrible at it. So I started getting books on it. There's
Yeah.
this dude, Ralph Gregory, that has like the Bibles.
When did you get into this?
It was before I moved to California. So that had to have been like 2012, maybe. I was
Yeah.
just out of high school.
Yeah.
And like, I saw that, was hooked.
I mean, like, how does someone who's 18 even get into sign painting? Like, what are you doing before all this? Like, what art avenue are you taking? Like, you said that your dad, like, kind of like
He drew, but like
he drew,
wasn't-
but it probably like gave you an interest in it.
yeah, a little bit. And then I started seeing graffiti. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I had an aunt. I'll always remember this. She lived out like Fox Chapel, out 28.
Yeah.
And like, I remember being like 5, 6 years old, driving out to my aunt's house, and there's this wall along 28, and there's this Means to Dreams piece that's still running. It's faded, but like, I saw that as a little kid and was like, holy.
Is it on the right side?
Yup.
Is it like that whole graffiti wall that
Yeah.
has that big gypsy piece and everything on there?
So that's the new bridge. Further
Yeah.
down towards like the Edna exit,
Yeah.
there's a spot, and it's beautiful.
Still there.
Oh yeah.
Man.
And then like, I remember seeing rooftops as a little kid.
Yeah.
And just being like, that's so cool. How would they even do that? So I got into graffiti a little bit.
Yeah.
And like, from that, met artists that did graffiti, and they're refined artists as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, there's a correlation here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's wild because I'm a big fan of graffiti in general. Like, I've always loved it. I've always loved the colors, and I think that it goes hand in hand with skateboarding.
Absolutely.
Even back to like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the game graffiti where you do a trick and it spray paints the ramp.
Yeah.
But anytime I would ever see it, I would always my eyes would go to it. Because it would just be like a whole fucking wall that's just painted, and I'm just like, like how is that a thing? Because I remember being young and like having my dad's old spray paint and like try to spray paint cardboard, and it'd just be trash. But like you have these people that are adding like this depth and these layers, and
Yup.
someone that's taking like just a cube and making it look like an old fucking Model T car.
Yup.
And you're just like, damn, like that shit gives me
How is
chills.
that possible?
Yeah, but it's always been so interesting. I think on a different level for me because I've never had any artistic ability, so it's like it's easy for me to see the beauty in it, but it's hard for me to see how people find negative out of that.
I mean, I can understand like, you fuck my car up, or like,
Yeah, but I get a car or something like
Yeah.
that. But if it's public property,
or like a railroad.
yeah,
it's
that's
like-
understandable.
Yeah.
But it's like, if there's people that are like getting in trouble for like throwing up on a wall, it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess it's to each their own, and it's like a whole different, taste of everything. But graffiti is definitely, it spurs interest in everything, I feel.
Absolutely. And like, I don't know. I got away from that, but I still remained friends with these artists.
Yeah.
And like, over the years, seeing their letters and being like, oh, the fundamentals of like the letter S. It's bonkers to me how the
Hell yeah.
top has to be and the bottom has to be to make it look like
Hell
a
yeah.
legible S, not just like that thing you drew in 7th grade in the back of your notebook.
Yeah, for real. The 6 lines.
Yeah.
Dude, even if you draw like an S or an N, like those letters just to try to draw bubble letters of are so difficult to do. So
Yeah.
add in all these extra aspects of it all these different colors,
Little
these lines.
bits and
Yeah.
some arrows. Yeah.
Like you could tell so much of like if you look at one of these pieces, like you could stare at it for hours. Like yeah, but regardless, like there's people that do all these murals around the city that are just doing like, if you look at one of Spar's pieces,
Oh, he's amazing.
dude, I was riding my bike the other day and I went past behind it, technically in front of the Giant Eagle in Southside, and there's like a wall. It gotta be 12 foot tall,
Yeah.
and it gotta be fucking 50 foot long, and it's just.
It's the back of the Popeyes building, like that Popeyes Dollar Tree building.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Dude, I was just riding, listening to music, and I looked to the left, and I was like, what the fuck? I had to stop, put my bike up, and I just sat there against the wall, and I was just looking at all this. Because you can get lost in it for hours
Oh,
and just
yeah.
stare at it.
The one dude that has that center section of the wall, he's prolific. That's nice.
Dude, it's
nice.
it's insane.
It doesn't even look like graffiti.
Yeah. It just,
It's literally an art production.
it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild, and it's cool to see, like, all the shit that's happening nowadays where it's like, I mean, it's almost like a double-edged sword because, like, the mainstream is embracing it so much
Yeah.
that it's being, like, you know, like, injected into everyone, and it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's, like, taking away from it, but, I mean, I'm also not an artist and I have no dog in a fight, but just, like, the way that I think about things, it's, like, it's just being, you know, it's in every restaurant now, and
Yeah,
it's, like...
people are capitalizing.
They're capitalizing on it. That's
Yeah.
the best way to talk about it, is they're capitalizing on it. But it's like, I feel like you could tell who kind of like is doing it for the right reasons,
Yeah.
and who is just like kind of,
You got like your wannabes and then your people that like know what they're doing.
yeah. The people that want to do that for the love of everything, and it's
Yeah.
just the people that are just like doing shit just to get a publicity stunt or whatever. And it's interesting to like see all that progress now. But when you moved, like, what made you move to California?
I was working for a university and I got laid off from that. Some things went weird in my life, breakups, and I was like, you know what? Fresh start.
Yeah,
So I dipped, went out there for a while. Fun story, I took a gallon of Turner's with me on the airplane, and they wouldn't let me take it. So I put it in a water bottle, kept it. Like, I got it through the gate,
Yeah.
got to LAX. I have a really cool picture of me with a bottle, or it was a squeeze bottle.
yeah,
It wasn't a full gallon.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me with a palm tree with this Turner's Diet.
That's
And
awesome.
I was like, oh. But yeah, I moved out there for a little bit, rode a whole bunch of bikes, met some interesting people. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, what were you doing out there? Like before, like if you moved to California, like obviously, I always touch on people's like high school experience because I think it's fascinating that everyone is just kind of forced to, you know, figure out their life in 3 years of being an idiot teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what did you have an idea of what you wanted to do?
I had, like, literally the week before I moved out there, I had graduated college.
Yeah.
I went for computer information science. From
Yeah.
The good old CCAC.
There you go.
And, like, after 2 years, I was like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I might as well go try some other things.
Yeah.
I went out there. I was working, like, shitty kitchen jobs.
Oh yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It was nice because I was in Northern California. I was real close to Lake Tahoe, real close to San Francisco.
Oh wow.
And, like, I have one friend out there. She was from Pittsburgh, moved out there. And, like, she helped me get my first job out there, which became 4 or 5 different jobs.
That's awesome.
She'd be like, oh, yeah, we're going down to Frisco for the weekend. You want to come? I'm like, absolutely. Never been there.
Yeah.
Bet I'm trying to see that art.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
Right.
like, that's a whole different culture out there. Northern
How long were you
California. I was out there for about a year.
That's dope.
And then girl I'm with now came out and kind of made me realize why I miss Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
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 And
I mean,
like,
it's easy to miss. I feel like Pittsburgh's an easy place to miss.
you can only watch like so many Rick Seaback documentaries about Kennywood before
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, I kind of want to go to Kennywood.
I know. I feel like, you know, I try to, for the sake of journalism, I try to be a good devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And I try to think like, do I just love Pittsburgh because I love it? But I feel like, I've been to some places. Like I've been to different areas.
Yeah.
Granted, I have not been there and stayed there for like more than like, a week or two at a time.
Yeah.
So I can't really get like a good grasp of it. But like every place I've ever been, I think my second favorite place besides Pittsburgh is probably like Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle or, Oregon, even Portland. But like they were both like, it was literally the best trip of my entire life. Me and my wife went out there for like 10 days and we just had like the best time of our entire lives. And I still was just like, I love it here, but like I love Pittsburgh. I feel like that a lot of it has to do with the size of the city though.
Yeah, it's big, but not too big.
Not too big. You could bike across the city in 25 minutes, but it's still big enough to like not feel like you're in a podunk town.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's enough diversity where you're always meeting new people. Like even you and I.
Yeah.
Where like if this was New York, I probably may never run into you.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I guess that's a really good point. If you were in a bigger city, it would be harder to keep tabs on like for me, for instance, like if I see someone on their Instagram, that's usually how I find 99% of the people. But I'll follow them, but it's like, I guess I kind of judge a book by a cover. I'll see if anyone I know is following them, and like, I could just scroll through. But it's like, if you're in Pittsburgh, that's like, that multiplies by like probably 50.
Oh yeah.
So you probably can't get a good grasp of like the interesting people.
Absolutely. And like, I don't know. It was nice out there. Weather was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, biking out there was great because it was all flat.
There was
no climbs. But I don't know. I missed it here.
Yeah.
I'm
So
glad
you
my
just came
fiance.
back?
What?
You just came back.
Yeah, she left. My fiance left. Well, now fiance, friend at the time, left on like a Friday. I booked a flight for the following Friday, shipped all my shit back, and then bumped my flight to like the Tuesday.
Really?
So I was out.
Yeah, you were ready.
Yeah, I asked my roommate, I was like, yo, dude, I'm bouncing. I was like, I'll pay an extra month on the rent. He was like, yeah, no problem. And
That's
that was
dope.
it. Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I'm curious, do you remember how much shit cost to ship back here? Like, was that like a big deal to like ship all your shit back here?
So like a box that a bike comes in, right?
Like a tall, thin one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I disassembled my bicycle. I moved out there with like just a couple clothes, a laptop, and my bicycle.
Oh, minimalist.
So I was doing like 45 miles a day. Anywhere
okay.
I had to go, everything had to fit in my backpack.
Yeah.
I put everything into there, and then I got those space bags where you like vacuum seal.
Yeah, vacuum them.
Yeah, and like a box that large, UPS charges dimensional weight. So like for that size box, it could
Fixed
maybe,
price.
Yeah, maybe like 75 pounds is your max.
Yeah.
So I stuffed that shit.
Yeah.
And I think it was like $150 to ship to there, and then shipping back from there it was like maybe $180 because stuff.
Huh. That's not terrible.
No, not at all.
I've always been curious about like how people, I was driving in the waterfront the other day and I saw someone with a fucking Hawaii license plate and I was like, where does that even come from? And I guess
I've heard that like if you're in the military, you buy a car, and
they ship it
if you
over.
relocate, they'll ship it anywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. I feel like that's probably the most realistic thing because you can't get here, right?
Oh no, you couldn't drive.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
can't-
like you jump on a ferry
Yeah,
and then
you
you're
can't
here.
get here, so it's like it got to be shipped or some shit.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But you move back here, and it's like, are you doing art full time? Like, are you?
No, I moved back here. I had a bunch of shitty jobs, and I reconnected with an old buddy, Richie Latanzi.
Yeah,
I guess he goes by Dick Latanzi now.
yeah, Dick.
Yeah, hit 30, you change your name. I don't know.
I love that. I thought that was hilarious.
It's so classy.
He said, "I'm 30 now. Call me Dick." I was like, "All right, yeah,
And like, I had run around with him before I moved out there.
yeah,
Became real good friends. So when I came back, he had a tattoo shop, and I was just chilling there, hang out with my buddy. I was working these terrible part-time jobs, and
Yeah.
he goes, "Do you ever think about an apprenticeship?" And like, I'd been drawing Flash just from being around it.
Oh, that's what I mean.
And-
Like, but off this, you're doing artwork on the side, like,
Oh
like,
yeah,
like
I was
you're drawing.
trying to
on it.
learn how to paint signs.
Oh, okay.
Failing miserably at it.
Yeah.
Shit like that. He's like, "You want to try an apprenticeship?" I said, "Yeah. I'm freshly 21. What do I got to lose?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm better than a shit job. So I kept a couple shit jobs, and I apprenticed with him for a while.
What does a tattoo apprenticeship consist of?
A lot of cleaning. Ton of cleaning.
Yeah.
So like first however long, you're just scrubbing tubes, you're bleaching the floors, you're the shop bitch.
Grunt work, yeah.
Yeah, like they want lunch, you're going to buy lunch. It sucks. Making stencils, but it's fundamental shit. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you don't learn how to scrub a tube, then you're never gonna know, or like how to set up a machine.
Those are the worst times to go through, but like everyone has to go through. If you don't go through them times, then I feel like you can't really.
I loved it because I got to hang out with my friends. I wasn't really making any money, but I wasn't losing money.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with my best friend all day, every day. And so, like, I'd do that, work the shitty job, go back later, kick it with them, and then started tracing more, like, old stuff.
Yeah.
Like Paul Rogers, your Cap Coleman, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fundamental of traditional tattoo flash. Trace it so you learn, like, okay, this is how this line would pull, stuff like that. And watching him tattoo, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I was like, I found my next calling. And I mean, that was Gucci. That's where I learned a lot of tattoo flash.
Yeah.
And I realized I did a couple tattoos on myself. Realized I wasn't the strongest, and I'm sure time would have improved that. But he got a great opportunity to move down to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, dude, don't stick around for me. I said, you do you. So that's when the apprenticeship abruptly ended. And
That's dope though. That that you guys were able to, like, you know, mutually like part ways. And
oh yeah, no, absolutely. I want nothing but the best for him.
you've actually tattooed before.
Oh yeah.
And on like, I know this would be hard to say, but like, it's pretty difficult.
I mean, I was under the supervision. Like, everything I did was on myself while Richie was watching.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, you're going to mess that up.
Yeah.
And I did. But then he explained why. It's not difficult.
Just a lot of things that you have to keep in your mind while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like pressure.
Anybody
all that.
listening that thinks that they can tattoo in their kitchen, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
But it's going to turn out
Do you
bad.
remember tattoo parties?
Yeah.
I remember in high school, people would have tattoo parties, and you would see some kid come into high school with like, yeah, baby, life and death, like up and down, and you're just like, bro, and it'll be like the size of like, it'll be like a 3-inch tattoo, and you're like, and it's taking up the exact middle of their arm.
Yup.
And I'm
you're
just
like, you're never getting anything
bro,
around that. The
like,
lines
come
are
on now.
blown out. You can never go over
And
that.
you can't even see where it says life or death now.
Yup.
And it was either like life or death. I remember some kid got a tattoo of a buck on his arm. Or no, it was the back right of his shoulder because he wrestled. He got a tattoo of a buck on the back right of his shoulder. And it literally looked like the dog from The Grinch, with like a dog with like a stick tied onto his head.
Oh, tight.
It was crazy.
One antler.
It was crazy. It was ridiculous. But people had these tattoo parties, and like,
Yeah.
I think to myself, I'm like, what fucking parents were like, yeah, fuck
I'll
it.
do it.
Bring them over, because they
yeah.
were always mediocre tattooers.
Yup.
And you're just like, if you're going to get, if this dude wants $500 to just come for as many hours flat, it's not
That's
right.
probably a problem. He probably has no idea what Hep C is, or like any bloodborne pathogen.
It was wild
It's
to
like-
me thinking about that, because I
yeah.
remember that's one thing that I think about my parents, that I'm so thankful for them, because it's like, I would have had crazy tattoos if I would have started back then.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, let me go to this tattoo party, bro, and let me get my name on my back or something. and thankfully I didn't.
I want my football number. Bro.
I know. It's crazy. I wanted the Ryan Sheckler tattoo where it just says Sheckler on it. Like,
You
Ryan
were gonna get Sheckler, or you
No,
were gonna get your? Oh,
I wasn't gonna get
I didn't
Sheckler
know.
on my back, but I was gonna get Medved on my back. But I was like, come on now, fat. I ain't never taking my shirt off. No,
No.
one's ever seen
I'm
this.
not gonna
thing.
be at the beach. I'll never be jacked.
Hilarious.
My mom had an aneurysm when I was like, "Yeah, I want to get tattoos."
Oh, she wasn't cool with tattoos.
No. My mom's from like a super religious family, and like, her whole side of the family wrote me off by that point.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I want to get a tattoo. So of course, like, first tattoo I get that she gets to sign for, I was like 16. It's a mom and dad tattoo. And
That's
I was like,
alright.
oh, Mom, it's only going to be like the size of like a candy bar. And like, it's shoulder to shoulder, full chest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
like-
What did she say?
She signed for it and like saw the stencil, and she's like, it's not going to be that big. And dude that was doing it was like, yeah, it is. And she was like, oh my God. She
Pissed.
a little bit, yeah. She said, you'll never get a job. I'm like,
My mom said the same shit. My dad grew up, he has no tattoos, but he grew up around it. I mean, it was ingrained in everything. So I remember Big Tony's tattoo shop in McKeesport location. My dad was a construction worker, so he built the tattoo shop.
Oh, that's sick.
Right behind Pizza and Gyro.
Yeah.
And, the Rolling Stones tongue symbol. Like, my dad is good friends with that whole family. And that was my first experience of tattoos, is seeing these guys, seeing the Rolling Stone tongue and like the tongue symbol. And, like, I remember buying that shirt for Kennywood. I remember, like, thinking, like I want tattoos more than anything, and it was just because of these dudes.
Yeah.
Like, seeing them, I was like, fuck yeah. And I remember telling my mom, like, I want to get a tattoo, and she was like, you'll be disowned. You'll be out of my house.
Nope.
And I was like, all right, cool. So years, I would just be banging it in her head, like, I'm getting a tattoo, I'm getting a tattoo, I'm getting a tattoo. She's like, you ain't. You'll be out of the house. So I turned 18. This was July 1st, 2008. I turned 18 on June 30th, 2008, and July 1st, I was like, I'm going to get a fucking tattoo, 100%.
Hell yeah.
My mom was on vacation.
Oh,
she was
God.
in Croatia on a cruise with her friend. It was like their 50th or something, so I was like, she could be home for weeks. It'll be done by then. I got my lip tattooed, the inside of my lip. Couldn't find anyone to do it down there, so I had to go to every one of these tattoo shops. It's still there, vivid as hell.
Holy shit.
Dude, I've never met anyone that had a lip tattoo that's lasted that long.
No.
And it's been there for 12 years now.
They pounded that.
Dude, 12 years now. And I remember getting that, came home, showed my dad. He was like, that's sick. He was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
My mom fucking came home. My dad ratted me out.
Oh,
he was
shit.
like, tell your mom what you got. And I was like, you motherfucker. But now I got tattoos and everything. She deals with it now. But she was definitely someone who was just like, you better not get no tattoos, nothing, all that. But whatever. I'm a grown-ass man now. I'm going to get all kinds of tattoos.
It went from, like, one tattoo under my shirt. My mom was, like, pissed about it, but she signed for it.
Oh, yeah.
To, like, nothing below the sleeves. To then it became, like...
Nothing on your face, nothing on your hands.
Nothing on your hands, nothing on your head.
Yeah.
And she's like, you'll never get a job. I'm like, Mom, those are job stoppers. They're called that for a reason.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I got my face tattooed and my head tattooed, she was like, you're fucked for the rest of your life. She's like, you'll never work anywhere. And I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to get some blue collar work.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, it's like tattoos don't matter in the blue collar world.
No.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be a fucking CEO
Be a
of PNC
garbage
Bank.
man. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I'm in this world where, like, I'm in this world where, I feel like the coronavirus just, like, fucked my brain up because everyone had this, like, little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
And they're realizing that, like, we're literally working our lives away.
Yeah.
And I'd rather sit on my fucking ass and read a book or read about I was doing all them solo episodes.
Yeah.
Dude, I would read about fucking cults, whatever. I was infatuated with it. But it's like, I feel like I'm going into a cage every time I go to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even hate my job. I just hate going into a cage and being like, I don't know. So it's like, you're like, yeah, I want to be a fucking garbage man. It's like, I know a couple of people that are garbage men. And you're like, damn, they look like they're having the best time outside getting some vitamin C.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's all what you want. It's like, some people are sweating to death out in the sun. I get paid to sit in AC.
Yeah.
So it's give and take.
It's a trade-off.
It's a trade-off, but it's, I feel like this whole last, like, quarter of the year, it's a big wake-up call for everyone as far as, like,
absolutely,
what your life is going to be like.
Every artist that I know, 99% of them, they went from, like, normal, terrible 9-to-5 jobs making art on the side to realizing, like, I'm going to freelance.
Yeah.
This is what I can do with my life. Like, they never had the I guess, guts to make the plunge.
Yeah, dude. Everyone, I feel like no one has the guts to do it because everyone's like, we want security.
Yeah.
You want benefits. You want a nice job that you could always depend on. Nice, steady work. But it's like, then they see all these, like, companies that are basically like, fuck you. We're going to do what we need to do for ourselves. you know, that was like, I saw so many people on Facebook that are like, you know, out of work. I know people that never got called back or anything like that. I was reading articles about like crazy mocha in the city. I read this article about how like they just like completely that didn't even call it like long-term employees back. I've heard a bunch of shitty stuff about them. But that's neither here nor there. But it's like, I don't know, dude. It's like people are so scared to like make that jump because everyone's like, oh, I have this security. I can't. What? How could I walk away from this? And you're like, bitch, they'll walk right away from you.
Yeah,
they will literally
replace
walk right
you with somebody that will make less.
You're a fucking cog in a wheel. That's it. And I feel like that this is the point where everyone's just like, you know what? Maybe we are.
Yeah,
maybe we are.
Maybe I should start concerning with my concerns.
100%, dude. 100%. And it's wild to think about that all. But I mean. So I mean, like now I know it's a very tangential podcast, but whenever like you come back to the city and like you know you're obviously doing shit on the side, Richie moves away or Dick moves away, and I mean like so you're done tattooing then?
Yeah, and like from that I'll say it blatantly, I don't know nearly what I could about tattooing. I'm not pushing myself out as a tattoo artist, any of that. I won't tattoo anybody.
Yeah.
But I learned that I love making flash.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's something in my brain where it's like, that's cool. You should paint that. Oh, that's cool. You should paint that.
Yeah.
Like, even that logo I did for you.
Unreal.
I was like, that would be a cool little, the I'll call you right back phone. Would
Unreal.
Be sick.
Yeah, like that's definitely, no one has ever made me anything like that for the podcast. Like that's a big deal for me. I swear I'm going to get that tattooed. And that thing is just so awesome. And it's like the dude who bought the flash sheet off you for the Always Sunny.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, dude. I know on your Instagram, what's it say? Not a tattoo maker?
Yeah. No,
what is that? So why do you have that on there?
Because I don't want to be called out in the universe of tattooers. Like, oh, this dude's trying to push himself out as that. Like, right off the bat, I'm not a graffiti writer. I'm a fucking toy when it comes to graffiti writers.
Yeah.
Not a tattoo maker. Like, I know a little bit of it. I know the theory behind it, some of it. I mean, you could tattoo for 1,000,000 years and not know all of it.
Absolutely.
But I don't want anybody to be like, oh, this idiot's painting flash and trying to make money off of it and saying he's a tattooer. No, I'm a dude that thinks that television shows are funny and like stupid drawings are funny, and like if somebody wants to buy it, I mean, I'll sell it to them, I guess. But like it's never been about like, oh, I'm gonna profit off this.
Yeah, dude, I don't get that vibe from you at all. I don't get that vibe from you as far as like, you know, like they have Instagram accounts where people, you know, anything that's like trendy and topical immediately is like a old school type design.
Yeah.
And you know, there's people that like don't really take that extra step to kind of, you know, voice it that like, you know, I'm not a tattooer, I don't do this shit, like this is just, I'm a fan of it, and like, you know, an artist that takes inspiration from things.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's a little bit different from like a lot of the other people, and I think that that's always kind of a reason that that I kind of like, you know, kept following along with you. I mean, you don't feel like fabricated. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like you make what you like, and I like that.
If it looks silly, and I mean, like a lot of the stuff that I do, there's errors in it when you compare it to how a tattoo should be, because there's rules to tattooing, like how things should face, things like that, shading wise, and like I make mistakes, but I'm not going to scrap the whole idea because it's not going on somebody's skin. And if you get a tattoo of one of my pieces of flash and like there's an error, your artist should probably catch it. I mean, if they don't, whatever, but like,
I mean, it's understandable.
It's just silly shit that I like to draw cartoony.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's interesting though, as far as like, you know, how, you know, the term toy in the graffiti world.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that it could be, you know, thrown around a lot, and for people that don't understand what it is, it's basically just like a poser.
Yeah.
You know, a fucking poser. But it's like, you know, I feel like that it's easy to let people assume something about you, whether Whether it's like, if you just posted all that shit up there, it would be easy for people to just assume that you're a tattooer and stuff like
or
that.
Or like I'm just some scumbag marketing on 100-year tradition.
Yeah, yeah,
a million-year tradition.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, the whole aspect of you, like, being kind of vocal about it all.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool,
don't want to
though.
portray myself as something I'm not.
That's good because, you can't really nowadays in this world because everyone's going to call your shit immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Immediately. I can't be lying about shit on this podcast because people that I grew up with listen to it and they'll be like, bro, quit fucking lying about stuff. So I have to be who I'm going to be on here.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not and I put on like a facade, it gets exhausting.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, it would just be annoying, I feel.
And like, I know like an hour and a half after this airs, Dick's going to call me from Florida and be like, you're full of it.
You're full of it.
That man keeps me in check so much.
That's good. Those are the types of friends that you need in life.
Oh, it's great. Like 99% of the shit that I paint, I don't even post on Instagram. It's just silly shit, but I'll send it to him and he'll be like, that's tight.
Yeah.
But here's where you messed up.
Yeah.
And from that, I'm learning.
Are you very critical as an artist?
Absolutely.
Like of yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I think that one of my most fascinating like thoughts of the world of graffiti and artists in general are the type of people that could put out pieces and not what's the right word? Not like, put their name on them. Like, there's graffiti artists all around the city that everyone sees 1,000 of their pieces.
Yeah.
No one knows who they are. I think that that's one thing that like I love so much about it.
The anonymity.
The anonymity. It's like people don't want it. They don't like half the graffiti artists I know deleted their fucking Instagram. They want nothing to do with social media.
No.
They're literally just out there to put it up, and it's like 100 times better than half the people that are being blatant about it and be like, yo, I did this painting of whoever, write me up in the paper about it.
Yeah, no.
And I think that I just like love that aspect of like people being like so real, almost to like a fault. You know what I mean? Like being like stubborn to a fault.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what kind of like brings out the, authentic is a overused word nowadays, but like authenticity, dude. I feel like it's easy to tell who's fake and who's not nowadays.
Absolutely. And like, I don't know, that's kind of why I use a pseudonym, anonymous alter ego to paint Tattoo Flash. Because like, yeah, that's me, but like, I don't want anybody to know about me. I'm just me. Like, let that speak for itself.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. That's a good point. I was curious about that though. Looking at your stuff today, it's like, you don't have any photos of yourself. I even looked on your fiance's thing, and like, I don't even think I've seen one on there. And like,
she knows the rules.
Yeah, and like, I've always been like, I've always been someone I've always had a MySpace, AIM. I've always been out there. Very, very big extrovert. Obviously with the podcast and everything, but like, I've always had a fascination with people who were like wanted to be in the shadows. I feel like that my favorite graffiti artist in the city, at first I thought he was a dickhead because I wasn't in there yet. You know what I mean? But now that like I understand who he is a little bit and I understand what the reasoning is behind things, like, I don't know, dude. I understand it a little bit more, I feel, just being kind of closer with them and, like, kind of seeing their work and what they do. And, like, I get fucking photos sent to me all the time that never go up anywhere. And I'm like, bro, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
And they're just like, thanks, dude. Like,
tight.
I love that. I love that. I think it's insane to me. People that don't want credit for it, really.
Yeah.
It's dope. Now, I mean, for you to be someone who, like, would you say that, a lot of your stuff is Flash, though, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Flash
like,
based?
Flash. I've been dabbling in, like, wood cutouts.
Yeah.
I sold a cool Monongahela River seaside piece to a buddy of mine.
That's sick.
That was big. That's like a 36 by 24 woodcut.
Wow.
And, like...
What do you cut it out with?
Just a jigsaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Old school. Bought that shit at, like, a flea market, like a $4 jigsaw.
Comes with character.
Harbor Freight blades.
That's the best. Comes with some character.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever plan on ever like trying to get back into tattooing or anything?
I've had offers to like apprentice under other people, stuff like that. If the time was right, the moment was perfect, but like, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect Dick by going into another apprenticeship. If I was going to learn, I'd pick up from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that.
And like, I don't know. I'm nervous about tattooing. Like,
What makes you nervous about it?
I don't know. I've always had an anxiety disorder
Yeah.
from like when I was little. And that, with the obsessions with that, that's why like I'm such a critical artist. Is like everything has to be perfect or fuck it.
That's what your anxiety is. Like you're a perfectionist almost with it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But that's like every aspect of my life. Like making sure something's this way 3 different times. Even though you just checked it, you check it again.
Yeah.
And like that kind of plagues me in life. Like if you ever talk to Dick about it, it's he has some
like
funny
OCD
stories.
almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't call it OCD because I'm aware of it. Like,
Yeah.
If I actually think about it, I'm like, don't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just how it is.
It's fascinating though.
But like with tattoos, they're permanent. There's no erase.
Yeah,
And,
like
like,
it's wild to think about that too, and like people are trusting you to do this stuff.
and that's fucking terrifying to me. Like you want to hand me money for something that I'm gonna do in art. I'm like already baffled by that, and then for you to be like, I want this with me until I die. I'm like, that's a lot of pressure.
I
Beads
think-
of sweat dripping off my face.
But I think a lot of that has to be with a lot of that responsibility falls on to the person that is getting the tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, them people that are going to them tattoo parties back in the day, you know, they're just the type of people that like walk into any place and just, you know, grab something off of a wall and just say, fuck it. Like, I don't care who does it. But like, you know, me, for instance, like I took months to like find out who I wanted, what style I wanted. There's a million people in the city and they all do shit different.
Absolutely.
You know, I go to Michael Patrick because I love the color, I love the cartoony, I love the, you know, the new school look of it all.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just what vibes with me. My wife, she loves the illustrated type look, like almost realism basically, like the thin, like she don't want any color tattoos or anything.
Gotcha.
She just has black and white, small thin line work.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so interesting to like see everyone's different taste, you know, like what people have, what people don't, like the type of you know, some people are so like weird about tattoos. Like some people will only go to one person.
Yeah.
I've been to I got only 2 other tattoos besides all the rest of mine. But
that leg sleeve of portraits is fucking phenomenal. That's bonkers how nice
appreciate
that is.
that. This was a long time ago.
That's beautiful still.
I appreciate this. That was my first tattoo. That was my first tattoo was my whole fucking leg. I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to get a tattoo. She was like, it better be small. And I come home. First thing Mike tattooed was this green vampire, Dracula.
That's sick.
And then it just went from there. And she was like, what is that? What's that head on you? Ah! And now it's just like, it's kind of a thing now. So, but I also like, you know, I've always wanted to get leg tattoos and everything like that because like, I never really, you know, people will ask me like, why do you have a leg tattoo? No one could see it. I never got tattoos for other people to really see. You know, that's why my thighs are covered and shit.
Yeah.
That's why the rest are on my ankles and everything like that. I just never really like cared for other people to have to see it because no one really is going to understand it anyway.
No.
Like if I look at your tattoos and I'm like, you know, what does this even mean? Like, why do you have something random like this on there? It's like, I don't understand it. Whereas like, you know, it could be something insanely complex. Like this is just an old 80s movie, The Monster Squad.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a B movie. Like it's a shitty made movie.
Absolutely.
But to me, it means like an insane amount of things. It means being a kid. And it's just like, you know, I think of that movie and I just think about like, it's like a blast of everything about my youth. And it's weird how people could, what people get from different pieces of art.
Yeah. Like I look at tattoos that I'm going to get and it's literally like, that's tight.
Yeah.
I want that. Or like you'll seek out an artist. Like if you're going to buy an Andy Warhol and you want a Warhol, you don't give a shit what it is. You're getting a Warhol. It could be a fucking choo-choo train or like anything.
Yeah.
And some of mine are like that. Other ones are like, man, this would be a tight spot for this.
Yeah, like some of your tattoos are more more meaningful to you. Are you saying?
Like 3 meaningful tattoos.
That's what I mean.
The
like,
rest of them are just like
random shit.
That's tight.
Fucking gremlins. I got a rat. Like, come
absolutely. You're just like, that's fucking tough.
Yeah, it just looks cool.
I'm not like, man, I need to signify that time that I did this. It's like, yeah, I want a fucking panther. Hell yeah. That's rad.
It is.
Big
It's-
ass eagle. Hell yeah.
I like that. I like that spontaneity. You can't beat that.
Nah.
Definitely can't. My wife was someone who, she never had tattoos before me.
Oh, jeez.
And her mother is religious. Her mother's pretty religious. She did not like me at first. I came in the first time I met her. First time I met her mom, I came in and I was wearing shorts, had a leg sleeve.
Ooh.
She asked me about that, and then she was like, "Oh, do you go to church?" And I'm like, "No." And there
Strike
was,
two,
yeah,
baby.
another
There it goes.
conversation. And then now her daughter has tattoos, and she's just like, Jesus Christ. And it's just, it kind of goes from there. But now my wife loves tattoos. She can't stop. She's like, I know what I want next. I know what I want next. And it's definitely addicting.
A lot of girls are like, they'd look at my tattoos and be like, you're wasting money. And I met my fiance, and she's like more heavily tattooed than I am.
Yeah, she got crazy tattoos.
She calls my shit like refrigerator magnets, like tiny pieces. Like, she has some bangers.
She's into dope shit too, though. I know she's like the OG BAM follower and everything like
Oh,
that.
my
All
God.
them decks and everything.
You got BAM autographs, and you're listening to this. Hit your boy up.
Yeah, she's I don't know if I only know one other dude that is a crazy BAM fan like that, and he's like, did you? So, last summer, BAM, after he came out of rehab, I guess, was supposedly going to throw a party at Castle BAM.
Yeah.
And they were going to do a show and everything like that. And he randomly like dropped the date, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to sell tickets." So my dude was hammered. He bought one of the VIP tickets, which allowed him to go to this show, go for the live show, and take an original art piece off of the wall.
What?
Yeah, turned out it was all bullshit. The whole town of Westchester was like, you're not allowed to have anyone here. All the cops were there. They knew that like shit was going to go down because they got wind of it.
Holy
but
shit.
It didn't even get to happen. He had to dispute his card and everything like that. But I don't know. The whole shit with, BAM and all them is just, it's crazy. It's crazy the fucking route that dude has been on.
Oh, absolutely.
And the rest of them dudes.
See, like, she's super into like the Haggard,
CKY
and, like,
and all that.
CKY and
Oh,
shit
yeah.
like that. Somehow,
Hellboy, yeah.
she fucking Hellboy fucking fingered me.
Now, did you know about all that stuff before her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's weird because there's some people that are our age that never have experienced CKY or
feel like
Haggard.
if you're into like the skateboarding scene,
Yes.
you're like on that.
Yes.
Because I remember like the CCS catalog would come out in the back.
yeah.
It's like
All the videos and
VHS
shit like that.
tapes. And you're like, oh, I wonder what that is. But like, she's heavy into collecting on that. That and like 90s Bulls Dennis Rodman shit.
Oh,
Like, she has the action figures with the prom
I saw she got
dresses.
that cardboard
The
cutout.
cardboard
and everything.
cutout. Yeah.
It's the only. I don't give a shit about nothing. I've said it on here 100 times. I got a Rodman jersey up in there. I got a couple of them. That's my boy. That's my boy. Did you guys watch The Last Dance?
3 episodes in, don't spoil it.
You're currently watching
yeah.
it? How great is it?
See, I wasn't big into basketball.
I don't like it at all.
This is so fucking suspenseful.
Yeah, it's good.
That I'm just like, man, they boned Rodman with that. Or, Pippen.
Yeah, Pippen.
Pippen with that fucking contract. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
I wasn't even saying nothing because I don't know where you got
No,
to. it all yet.
that's...
But
we're
he,
just past that.
But he, I mean, like Dennis Rodman, just like, I don't know. I've always been like a fan of like, the weird shit. Ever
Yeah.
since I was little, dude, I've always like, he had green hair. I remember we would get a Kennywood outfit. I bought a black pinstripe Dennis Rodman, or a red pinstripe Dennis Rodman jersey with some Nike cargo pants and Dennis Rodman. I'm pretty sure they were Dennis Rodman Converse shoes. And whether that be the Mandela effect and those didn't exist or not, I would bet my life on it. But I loved him. I thought it was so sick that he was just such like a weird dude. And
He
I've
was
always
bonkers, and he was about it.
always about it. And
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that shit about the Pistons or anything.
No.
I just knew of him being in the Bulls.
Yeah.
Because back then, whenever it's like 96 and all that shit, and you're just like, that's the era. But I didn't know about him being part of like the Pistons and like and being like that crazy like lunatic.
Yup.
Where he's just like fuck you and like they're just beating people's asses. I didn't know the shit about Carmen Electra and like whenever he would leave, it's just like it's wild that
Yeah.
he was just like such a crazy dude.
And he got away with it.
Got away with it, and
That's-
like,
that's
and
so
now he's hanging
awesome.
out with Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
just like what's going on?
This dude.
It's definitely wild, but that's so good. Even if you're not a basketball fan, it's
No.
a greatly.
It's so suspenseful.
It really is, and it's filmed so well.
It's like, I want to equate the stress level to like the last couple seasons of Breaking Bad, where you're like, oh, when this ends, shit's hitting the fan. But I'm like, Netflix should have done like a 4-season documentary about this. This is insane.
It would be sick. You're a big Breaking Bad fan?
Oh, absolutely,
See,
1000%.
I started watching it about a month before El Camino came out.
Okay.
And for years I didn't know the ending of it. And it was years. So I was watching it, and I watched a few episodes, and I was like, this show's dope. But I just never, I originally watched it all the way up until the last season. Okay. This was years ago, and then I just stopped watching it for some reason.
Okay.
And I ended up picking it all up again from the beginning because it's been like 5 years, and it's just such a great show.
Yeah.
And then I'm like 2 or 3 episodes from the end, and my boss fucking ruins it for me. And
oh God! That
he tells me, "Hey, this is a spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen it yet." But I walk in and he's like asking me, he's like, "What's up with it?" And I was like, "I can't believe he fucking died." And I was talking about Hank, but he was like, "Ain't it crazy? I thought the cancer would have killed him." Or yeah, he was like, "I thought he would have got taken out by that." And I was like,
"He does it?"
I was like, "Oh my God!" But yeah, what a great show! Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Did you like Ozark?
Haven't watched Ozark yet. Haven't watched The Wire.
I've never watched The Wire either. Everyone's been telling me about that.
Fucking spot on.
Yeah, everyone's been telling me about that. Ozark is great though. I feel like Ozark is comparable to Breaking Bad. I think that I like Breaking Bad more, but I think I like it more just because it's a better storyline, I think, but I get more anxiety from Ozark. I've never had more anxiety of any TV show in my entire life.
No way.
You ever watch Uncut Gems?
No.
With Adam Sandler?
Have not.
It's like you turn it on, and 1 minute in until the last second is a straight anxiety. It's just, it's terrible. But it's great too. But it's like, I don't know, dude. It's interesting being someone who's like an artist that makes things like you do. It's like, where does like your creativity come from besides for like obviously you're doing shit that's like shows that you love, things like that, things that mean a lot from you. It's like, are you someone that is hard to cultivate that creativity, or is it are you someone that it has to be there before you could get it going, or can you kind of dig it out?
I mean, like, it's kind of spur.
Yeah.
Where like I'll see a traditional tattoo of an eagle I like, and I'm like, oh, that's tough, but I bet it would be cooler if it was doing this, and I'll do it for myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like, every day there's something where I'm just like, that'd be tight. I should paint that.
Absolutely.
And like, I have backlogs of just ideas written down in notebooks.
Oh, I bet.
Shit that I want to get to, like the Penguin Playboy.
Oh, that thing was dope.
That thing I've had on the back burner for like ever, and then I realized hockey season's coming back, and I was like, fuck yeah, I want one of these for my house.
Too short for me this year. Shame.
Telling me.
Did they? You're a big sports fan?
I like hockey.
When's the draft? Wasn't it today?
It's coming up. I know that.
Because isn't that Alexis Lanner, whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the fuck. What's his name?
I know that lottery's coming in.
Yeah, like
if we score that,
it would be wild.
Yeah,
it would be real wild. I just seen a bunch of memes about it today, but I don't know, it's interesting. But are you only hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been really too into like watching other sports.
I mean, like, I own Steelers shirts, but like,
yeah, I haven't watched a football game in probably since the last time they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'd say like right on that. And like, I'll be a Fairweather fan, and like, yeah, I'll watch the Super Bowl, but like, it's because all of Pittsburgh's watching the Super Bowl.
I haven't even watched a Super.
I mean, like, I'll watch the Steelers Super Bowl, but not like
keep it.
Yeah.
After they started.
Deflategate, get the hell out of here.
Come on, I don't want nothing to do with any of that. I drove past Kennywood yesterday. I went to my mom's house, and I drove past Kennywood. Insane. I went down to the Strip the other day, and I almost fought someone because, I wear a mask anywhere I go. Out in public, shit like that, I'm wearing a mask, out of respect for all the other people. And then I try to stay away from people in stores. Everyone's like, stay 6 foot away. Yeah. But it's half these old motherfuckers who have no sort of personal space at all. And I'm like standing in the line at Woolies, and I got people crowding around me. And instead of just like freaking out, I just like walk away and like try to get into a isolated location. But it's just like, I don't know, it's just a weird time in life to try to navigate through. But what can you do? We're just here trying to function, you know? This whole fucking podcast, I didn't even talk to you about pinball at all. It's wild. Pinball. You guys are heavy into it.
Yeah, I mean...
Heavier than I've ever seen anyone into it, really.
The fiance's heavier into it than I am. I like fixing things and like working on things. I like working with my hands, so like I like fixing up old machines, making them look cool and cleaning them up. She's like competitive,
crazy into it.
Yeah,
we went to this place in it might have been Seattle, but it was a pinball bar. It was like just this random place. I didn't know it was. It just said it was an arcade, but it just had a bunch of old shit in there. So you go there and it was like a dive bar, but it had like dope shit in there. Mars Attacks, Addams Family, all these wild ass pinball machines.
Hell yeah.
And I'm sitting in there playing, and like this random dude, like Antoinette had a bunch of coins, I had a bunch of coins, and we're both just going about our own business playing. And this random dude comes up and he starts talking to me. And I was like, this dude's going to be a weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be strange. And then he's like talking to me, and I'm listening to him, and I could tell that like this dude is like legit. And then I see people that work there all saying hello to this dude. Yeah. And turns out he's like this pinball junkie, and he's just in there all the time. They're in all the competitions. Yeah. And that was the first time I ever realized that like pinball machines are like Pandora's box.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, if you hold this left bumper on Mars Attacks and you shoot it and it goes through this area, you're gonna get an extra 100 points.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck, like that is crazy. So immediately when he tells me that, I'm just like, oh my god, I have to figure out everything about these, because I'm always like, how the fuck do people get 100 million on pinball?
See, people walk up to it and they're thinking like, oh well, I'm just gonna flip some times and it'll be over.
Yeah.
Well, those machines have entire rule sets. Like, to do this or score this, you have to hit this, this, and this.
And like, go up a ramp 3 times to unlock it. Yeah. I played this random X-Men pinball machine.
Was it blue with Wolverine on it?
Yeah. Super dope. Yeah. I was surprised because like I'll usually go around to whatever, and I've only been to games in that, and like they got like a cool South Park one. That I played there, but like that was like my first experience of like pinball places, and then I've been just trying to go around and find different ones. So like we went to like I think like Victory Point.
Victory Point has a nice collection. There's Kickback over in Lawrenceville.
I just saw that place. I rode my bike by it.
They have a nice collection. Their machines are in really good condition too.
Yeah.
And then there's Helicon out in I guess it would be like Oakmont Technical. Helicon Brewery.
Oh yeah, I know where that is too.
At their brewery, they have probably 60 or 70 machines. No bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. And like that dude has the titles. Like there's a Big Lebowski machine out right now.
Holy
it's
shit!
Super sick, super limited. And
how much?
I'd say like 20.
20,000.
Yeah, like 19 to 20.
What do you think's the most expensive pinball machine?
I mean, it's all over the place.
Like, is there ones for like $100,000 probably?
I mean, like, I feel like the Supreme machine would be up there.
Oh yeah, like, they did put out that fucking pinball machine.
That's just some hype. Like,
I know it's
there's
hype.
nothing nice on that.
I know there ain't nothing nice on it, but it's like it's a Supreme thing.
That would probably be like the highest high. Like Addams Family machines go for like 8 to 10.
All right, I'm gonna look this up right now. Supreme pinball machine. I know Jeffree Star got one.
Yeah.
And
Jeffree Star's collection.
Dude's a fucking gangster.
Oh my god.
Gangster.
His machines are sick, but like Addams Family retails right now for like 8 to 10, but like in 05, that's like a tops $3,000 machine.
Okay, it says, holy shit, a Stern pinball machine from Supreme. You can order it online right now. Guess.
I'm gonna say 85.
30 to 50.
Okay.
But yeah, 30 to 50. It says that's just the first website that I've seen, and it says. What was it, $8,000? I think it was $8,000 retail, maybe. I don't know, but it's crazy that they did that.
Yeah, like I don't know, that Big Lebowski's real expensive. I guess they got sued on licensing. So they shut down production, and then Now
Man, I never even thought about that. These fuckers got to have licensing for all that
so
shit
like
too.
that X-Men machine you played.
Yeah.
They're paying likenesses. They're paying everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, as far as you, like, what kind of pinball machines do you guys got?
I mean, we got a couple of the older ones.
So, like, how old, like, what years? Do you know what they're from at all?
I think the newest machine we have is 92.
So, if you have
Oldest
a 19...
machine would be like 67, 68.
Now, if you have these machines, like, is it pretty easy to find parts, or is it super difficult?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, the internet exists, so, like,
Yeah.
everything has a price.
Yeah.
Some things are, like, unobtainium, where you're never getting one.
Yeah.
Where other things, it's, like, they're 30 cents.
Yeah. I bet.
But, like, we just got my boy into pinball machines. He's into jukeboxes. He was an electrician by trade, so, like, he likes all the
he's into it.
technical shit.
Yeah.
And, like, I just helped him pick up a machine recently, and, like, he's about it.
Yeah, he's into it.
Yeah, not so much the play, but like the work,
the design of it,
the switches, and all that.
Now, do you like? Besides for the fact of you wrenching on them, like, do you get into them playing?
Oh yeah, like certain titles I love. Like you were talking about Revenge from Mars.
Yeah,
there's the precursor to that. It's called Attack from Mars.
That's what I was thinking of.
It has a real open play field. There's the two ramps and then the saucer in the middle.
Yeah, that's the flying saucer.
Yeah, that's Attack from Mars. That machine, that's fun.
That's the first one?
That's the precursor to Revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's... okay. So that has to be the one that I was playing, because that one had a big UFO in there.
Yeah, the other one, the Revenge from Mars, has like a TV screen in it. You'd immediately be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, I don't know if I played that one, but, like, I don't know, dude. I feel like that pinball machines were, like, something that I, along with probably a lot of other people, just, like, don't show respect to.
No.
It's just like something to throw a random quarter in while you're waiting for, like, a pizza or some shit.
Absolutely.
And that's what it was to me. I remember our Pizza Hut, we had a Terminator 2 pinball machine. And I remember I was like, this is fucking dope. Like, I've been playing it all day, waiting for our stuffed crust from Pizza Hut, but it's like I never knew, like, how to get all these points and how to do all that, and, like, I never really understood the rules of it. And then after I met that dude up there, and he kind of, like, took me around to all these, like, different ones. There was this old machine we played that ended up being my favorite, and he was explaining to me that, like, some of the older machines have, like, more action.
Yeah.
And he was like, whenever you learn what to get, like, this right size bumper is a little bit more tender, or I mean a little bit more touchy than, like, this left one.
Yep.
And, like, I'm hopping on there and I'm only getting, like, a couple, and then this motherfucker's on there and he's like, some of these machines, you learn the tilt, you learn how far you could push them.
Yep.
And I'm just like, damn, this is a whole fucking science.
It's like a sports car. Like, you get in one Ferrari, it's going to be totally different than another Ferrari.
Yeah, dude, I had no idea, like, how crazy all the inner workings, all that were. But, like, you and her, I follow both of you guys on Instagram, and I see she's always posting shit. And I think after we came back from there, I hit both Ians up, and I was like, yo, where could I go play pinball at?
I remember that message. You were like, yo, I got the bug.
Yeah, I did, because,
like,
I'm just like, fuck, and now this coronavirus happened, and I can't go fucking play pinball nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
The market on pinball machines, like, early 2000s, man, you could have this place packed with machines for, like, $8,000. And now, like, people are realizing, like, oh, man, that was fun when I was at Pizza Hut 20 years ago. I'm going to get one of those for the basement.
So when do you think this started picking up?
Probably, like, 2009. It was, like, started to ramp.
But before that, it was, like, dead kind of.
Yeah, because, like, if you think of those machines, they're disposable. They were never made to be kept for 40 years, 50 years.
Yeah.
They were made to be on a route, let the route operator make money off of it, and then tossed.
And I guess, like, you know, with the years and the advancement in technology, people kind of, like, are easy to let that old technology die out.
Yeah.
You know, if you're playing fucking Call of Duty or you have an Oculus Rift,
Yeah.
you know, some
You're
people
like,
want to do that instead of play a pinball machine.
Yeah.
But everything comes full circle. Boys are wearing
Absolutely.
fanny packs now.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, what's crazy to me is I remember Century 3 Mall had that arcade on the 3rd floor.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
My dad used to take me up there when I was, like, little.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have money. We still don't. But
Yeah.
he'd take me up there and he'd put me on the Cruise and Exotica machine. Not even put a quarter in that thing.
And you just sit
put
there.
me on
Yeah.
it. And, yo, I thought I was racing.
Yeah, dude, I
And, like,
loved it.
Those machines now are like $400.
Oh,
like,
really?
that's obtainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I could have one of those in every room of my house if I wanted.
Man, I loved
Put it on a credit card.
arcades. I loved arcades. I used to piss away all my parents' money.
That was like my first introduction was at Century 3 Mall Arcade. And like after that, I was like, man, this is tight.
Yeah. Arcade games were so fun. I've told you before that, like, for my birthday, like, usually people will go to bars. I go to Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a good excuse to have all my friends come over. They could drink, but, like, we'll just go get fucking insane at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
We're all adults now. You could put $80 on a card or something.
Hell yeah.
Like, I remember I walked in there my last time we were there. I threw $100 on there. I was like, I'm fucking balling out today.
Yep.
And I just went there and I fucking played for hours.
Had a great time, I bet.
Great
too.
time. It was like, and you're just like, God, like, when you're younger, you don't like realize like technique. And like that same day, whenever I was playing shit, my brother and his best friend and his other friend, they all took turns playing Time Crisis too.
Hell yeah.
Beat the whole game.
Yeah.
They would not let anyone else on there. People were getting pissed, but they were like, hey, we're through it. Just come on. And they ended up beating it. But games are fucking dope, dude. I love them. Now, pinball machines. Now, is there any other sort of games that you're into?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, she's into board games, shit like that.
Yeah.
I like reading. Like,
Yeah.
call me a nerd. Like, we have a PS3 and it's only for Netflix.
Yeah, I have an
shit.
Xbox.
Yeah.
I barely ever play video games ever. But what was I gonna? Oh, do you remember that game in Kennywood where the racers were? It was almost like bingo. It was almost like skee ball. You sit there and you roll these like racket balls down, and you have to get them in a line like bingo.
Yeah.
It was old people game.
Yeah.
I swear one Kennywood picnic, I spent the entire day there because all the games only cost $0.10.
Yeah.
So my dad had like a big water cooler jug, and I remember the day before poured it all out, took every single dime that was in there, and I remember rolling in with a Crown Royal bag that was filled with these dimes, and I just all day I was in there. I would leave to go grab something to eat, and then I even went back in there, and it was I even took one of the signs from one of the ones that said out of order, and I moved it to my machine
So nobody could use it.
so no one could fuck with it. And I was like, I was serious. And there was only other old people in there, and it was just dope. I loved games like that, and it was just like, it's fun now because like being an adult, it's just like nostalgic.
Yeah.
Everything is just nostalgic. Like the Ninja Turtles game, the Simpsons game. You're just like, God, them things are just like unreal.
And it's wild now because, like, as a kid, I never imagined you could have, like, fun things at your house like that.
Oh yeah.
And, like, now it's like, hell yeah, like,
Do you know the comedian Matt Light?
no.
He's a comedian in the city. He bought a fucking golden tee the other day.
Hell yeah.
And he put it in there. He was like, hell yeah, baby, I got this golden tee. And I was like, that's fucking dope. It's like, it's sick, though.
That's sweet. I mean, those are on Craigslist all the time.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild that the shit that you could buy. I look on there just random shit all the time. So, I mean, I think another thing. I was asking you about the history of pinball, all right? So I went over some of it just to get an idea of it, and it's pretty interesting. So, if you had to guess, when do you think the first adaptation of a pinball machine was implemented?
With flippers or without flippers?
Without them.
Without flippers, and are we talking current? Or are we talking...
I'm talking like the first adaptation of a pinball machine.
Yeah, I know that they were pushing tabletop machines out of Japan, like, early.
Like it says right here, it says that pre-modern, okay?
Yeah.
So pre-modern, they were doing shit, and it was like they were doing like bocce ball and shit like that, and this was just a miniaturized version of that, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like in the beginning. Then it said during the long 1643 to 1750 reign of Louis XIV, billiards tables were narrowed down, and wooden pins and shit like that were implemented in there to add a little bit more difficulty. And then it said in 1869, spring launchers became mainstream. Okay, so that's just the fucking shooters. And then 1931, coin operation is introduced.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so 1933, electrification and active bumpers introduced.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, back in the 1930s, I didn't know. I would have had no idea when pinball.
Did you know that pinball was outlawed in a lot of the U.S. for a long time?
Why?
because it was a gambling machine.
You used to be able to win money on them?
No. Like at bars might have like they used to be called bingo machines. There's no flippers. They would just have holes in them with pins around it.
Yeah.
Like you plunge the ball and you'd shake the machine to try to get it to a certain hole.
Oh.
And if you like almost like Plinko.
Yeah.
And you hit that hole, you might get a free beer. And they were outlawed until I can't remember the gentleman's name up in Chicago proved that they were a game of skill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like there's some really crazy pictures of like late Prohibition New York, them just destroying thousands of machines, shit like that, where
That's
they were just like
nuts,
almost like how poker machines are now.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
And somebody proved that it's actually a game of skill with like modern flippers and everything. Where I think he called it out. He was like, "All right, this next flip, I'm gonna hit this shot right there," and did, and like right there, they dropped the law.
Wow, that is dope. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's wild. The history
that is pretty crazy. The poker machines are wild too, though. I never understood. I just remember the cherry machine with the girl who like pulls her tits out.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I've always loved that just because like I love the graphics of everything.
Yeah.
Always loved like the casino type shit, cards, all that. But I never played them. And I never understood how people won money, and I never understood the aspect. I'm talking about whenever I was younger. I never understood the aspect of like the underground gambling of it all.
Yeah.
And then it turns out some dude was running some crazy ring in McKeesport for a while. And
what?
Oh yeah, this happened like 4 years ago, and like there was a lot of people involved.
Jesus.
Big name people.
Woof.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting. But I don't know, dude. The games are fun. I'm excited for the coronavirus to kind of
once this shit breaks and
go
like
away
arcades actually can open.
Do you think that they will?
I know Kickback's open right now. I know Helicon's open too.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess newer. I mean, like
I don't think like your traditional arcades. I know a lot.
That's
of
what
them
I mean.
Aren't going to make it.
Yeah, like traditional arcades, like do you think places like a Games and That type establishment can make it? I mean, they're for people that don't know what Games and That is, it's just old games. Like,
oh yeah, it's awesome. Like
it's like a garage filled with a bunch of old ass shit.
Like you want to play Asteroids or like Miss Pac-Man, literally anything you can imagine, they probably have
and
it.
You're not going there for like the top of the line of everything. I mean,
No.
like there's some shit that has flaws and everything,
Yeah.
but like, do you think a place like that is going to be able to like survive this?
I'm sure Games and That in like proper Games and That proper will survive, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think like smaller mom and pop arcades, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it definitely will. Germs and shit like that. Everyone touching everything.
Germs and like I don't know you're making profits on a quarter. It's not a giant markup.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Your overhead's high and your profits are really low.
Imagine it. I mean, like, but imagine an arcade that gets some foot traffic, like that one at Century 3.
Yeah.
Like, if you figure you had 20 kids in there spending $5 a piece, that's $100 on one machine if it was a popular machine.
Absolutely.
And if you buy a machine for $500 and you have a month, you're paying that off
in a month.
Yeah, more than that. So I mean, I don't know. It's interesting to kind of think more deep into that, but
it kind of sucks that like the mall arcades have gone away.
Yeah,
because like kids nowadays, you go to the mall and like you hang out in the food court.
Yeah, everyone's on their phone, Snapchatting. But like, if you were a mall rat in Century 3, whenever kids were at mall school and shit, you were up there.
God, mall school. I forgot about that. Holy shit.
When you're at mall school, it's like you just go there and you're either outside on the wall trying to skateboard a curb, you're going into Spencer's, you're going into the arcade, maybe in Annie Ann's, like FYE listening to CDs. You remember picking up a CD and scanning it and listening to it?
Hell yeah.
It's like, that was like nostalgic. Like going and picking movies that you've never like seen.
Yup.
Man, I fucking loved it. It's a shame that, it's bittersweet to grow up. I like being an adult, but like being a kid was fucking dope.
Hell yeah.
All right. So the ending segment that I do with all my guests on a podcast, my favorite thing to do is called Desert Island Questions.
Got you.
Everybody gather up, please. I think this is a perfect opportunity for all of us to participate in some really intense, psychologically revealing conversations. So we're going to be playing Desert Island. Desert Island. Desert Island.
Desert Island Questions is where I give each of my guests 3 categories to take with them on a desert island to exhaust until expulsion.
Perfect.
So the first category is 3 things to watch on a desert island. So you get to pick 3 things, TV shows, movies, whatever you want.
Awesome. So first one, right off the jump, is going to be Pittsburgh History Series by Rick Seaback. I want the whole collection.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Holidays
yeah.
in Pittsburgh. Yeah. I want Seinfeld box set,
All right.
deleted scenes and all. I'll take it.
Okay.
Number 3,
How many seasons are Seinfeld?
I'll say 8 or 9.
And are they 20-minute episodes? 20-minute or
I think they're longer than that.
40, right?
No. They're not full 40s. They're under 30, but I think they're
okay.
like 28.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
And are they one of them seasons that have like 20 episodes a season?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'd kill myself right there
I know.
watching Seinfeld. That last one, that's a tough one. Probably box set of Adam Sandler.
Oh, yeah.
Just everything he's done.
That'll be
I'll
good.
watch Happy Gilmore until I cry.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I can't remember who I just talked to on here about that, but I think we talked about favorites. It's hard for me to think of one, but I think of I think it's a tie between The Wedding Singer.
That's good.
Yeah, The Wedding Singer is so fucking good. It used to be Billy Madison for so long, but then it went to Happy Gilmore, and then it was like I love The Wedding Singer so much, and like, man, there's
Billy
just so
Madison,
many.
when he writes Rizzuto, oh my God.
The steps,
Yeah,
Rarudo, those are Z's. Yeah, those are so good.
that kills me.
My parents were like, they were open about me watching shit. My brother was 6 years older, so like I never really had like.
Yeah.
I remember buying that from Hollywood Video in Century 3 Mall.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the same trip, I went to Spencer's and I bought this green Cheesy Poof box from Spencer's that had 4 heads on there. And if you pressed them, they all had like, oh my God, you killed Kenny.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember buying that all in one trip at the mall and coming home and thinking like, I got this Billy Madison VHS. I got this South Park thing. I'm like, I'm fucking living. And I beat it to death. I watch it. I could say everything about the movie, but it's so good.
Hell yeah.
Adam Sandler, though. You got to watch Uncut Gems if you're an Adam Sandler
I
guy.
know. I'm on it.
You ever see Rain on Me?
No.
Rain on Me is another movie with Adam Sandler. I think it came out in probably maybe 2012. It's a serious movie. He plays like a lunatic, kind of. Don Cheadle's in it as well. And it is
shit.
by far probably one of the most slept on Adam Sandler movies ever. My favorite thing is like seeing comedians be able to be serious and be successful at it.
Absolutely.
Like Vince Vaughn and Norman Bates.
Yeah.
And like seeing him in Psycho is like wild to me, seeing that and then watching Wedding Crashers. So it's like, fuck.
The versatility is
Yeah,
just
versatility.
outrageous.
You can't do nothing about that. And it's just like Uncut Gems is a great. People talked a lot of shit on it, but it's like it's fucking Little Nicky.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh, God, I forgot about Little Nicky.
yeah, come on, it's good stuff.
Get in the flask.
Yeah, there's so many. My brother Cassius hit me in the face with a shovel. Man, such a great actor. Okay, so the second category, you said you're a reader.
Yeah.
Can you pick 3 books?
Oh, tight.
Like you read often?
Yeah, but I read about like dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like not like a whole novel start to finish, but like how to fix this or how to fix that.
That's all right.
So I'd say like catalog of Ralph Gregory's sign painting books.
Okay.
That'd be tight. Because like I just letter nerd. Next I would say if I could get like a full subscription to Zoo Books.
Zoo books.
Yeah.
Like the old school zoo
Yeah.
books? Oh,
yeah, hell yeah.
for sure.
I love learning about animals.
that's a good
dude.
call, Zoo
Animals
Books.
are fucking rad.
Yeah, they are. Pretty crazy.
And then third would be. That's a tough one.
You have a favorite book as a kid?
Nah.
Did you read as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, nothing really stuck. Maybe like Ray Bradbury. Like if I could get like Fahrenheit 451.
Okay. I've
yeah,
never read it.
I would just take the
Pretty wild?
tight. Very good.
Yeah.
Very relatable to what's going on right now.
That's what I hear. Everyone's telling me to read that.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit, 1984.
Yep.
Shit like that. I need to. I have it in there, but I just need to read it.
Good read.
Speaking of animals, though, you need to watch Microcosms on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's the wildest thing I've ever watched in my entire life. It's just a dude that has a macro lens, and like it'll be like you literally see how insects are living. Like, you'll see, like, it'll show you, like, the life of a fucking spider there's spiders that live underwater that, like, grab air and make, like, a bubble underwater, and they live in there, and they have all this footage of, like, ants building ant hills, and it's, like, it's literally the most mind-blowing thing ever. Dung beetles, how they, like, push shit up hills with their back legs, and they tell you why, and... Dude, it's insane.
See, I like learning the why.
Yeah, it's really insane to watch that. And I always like think about, my brother forced me to watch it. He was like, "This is dope. You need to watch it. You'll love it." And I'm just like, I ain't fucking watching this show about insects.
Yeah.
And it was the most insane thing I've ever watched in my life.
That's sick.
It's just like, I feel like we're so inferior compared to what's going on with them guys.
Yeah.
But okay, so the third category is 3 things to listen to.
Ooh. All right. The discography of a band called Have Heart.
Have Heart. I know who
Boston,
Have Heart is.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, I know who Have Heart is.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Discography of a dude named Odyssey.
I don't know who that is.
He's mellow. Dude out of DC. Oddisee.
Does he rap?
Yeah. Kind
Is
of.
he like that spoken word kind of?
Nah.
That's like...
He real chill beats. He's a phenomenal producer.
Okay.
Definitely look into him. He has a series called Odd Seasons, where like he did like a spring, summer, winter, fall, and like it's just music to jam to for those seasons.
I'll peep
It's
that out.
tight. Third, that's a toughie. I don't know. Maybe a dude named Listener. He's spoken word.
I never heard of him.
Listener is pretty good.
All right. I'll allow it. You can have all of it.
Tight.
Okay, so the third to last thing we do is the death row meal. So you get to pick whatever you want to eat from wherever you want, as much as you want.
Man, I had this planned. Like, I already know if I'm on death row, I'm calling SPAC.
SPAC.
SPAC Brothers Pizza?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, up in Garfield.
SPAC Brothers. I feel like
It's-
someone maybe told me about that.
Tiny little pizza place.
Pretty good.
Excellent vegan pizza.
Is it like a New York slice? Like bigger, like thinner, or is it like a
I've
thick?
never had just a slice from there. I commit for like the 3-day meal and get the XL.
Oh, okay.
But they have vegan pizza, vegan seitan sandwiches. Holy shit. So I would definitely do an XL vegan buffalo seitan pizza and a full 14-inch buffalo seitan sandwich.
I'll fuck with that.
If I'm allowed to do the upcharge,
Yeah.
it's an extra 50 cents, but it's vegan ranch. Slather that shit on there. If Death Row will allow me to spend that extra
What about a
50
dessert?
cents. Diet Turners. I don't do dessert.
That's good.
I'm not into sugars.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. See, I'll try to stay away from the sugar to drink it, but I'll eat a baked good all day. Okay, so the second to last category is the Turner's Crate. So let me grab that.
Oh man.
Take that. So the Turner's Crate is where each guest submitted a question to the crate, and the current guest reaches in, grabs a question, and answers it to the best of their ability.
And this thing's full.
It seems to always pick the same ones, though. I feel like I feel like they always come the same ones. It's all right, though.
All right, I got a nice pink one.
That's perfect.
I've already heard this one answered.
Skip it.
Skip it.
Yep, leave it out. I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking weird.
That's
people,
wild.
People pick the same things. There got to be like 90 in there.
If you could choose any animal to be completely obedient and do as you say, what type of animal would you pick? Billy Hoyle, episode 34.
What would it be?
Like as like an animal slave, or like
I don't
like
necessarily
we could cool out and I could be like, go eat that.
No, I don't. I just for the sake of animals, nothing is going to be a slave.
Okay.
But if you could have an animal chilling, like just
and they
with
knew
you,
what I was talking about.
listens to you completely, you're like, bro, like go down and shut that door or something like that.
All day, a rabbit.
A rabbit,
Yeah,
bro. I've had a rabbit in my yard for probably like 4 months
I
now.
keep seeing the pictures of it.
I've been feeding it.
He's getting big.
I've been getting close to him. I'll be able to. I'm going to feed him out of my hand.
Little cutie pie.
I'm like 3 feet. I got like 3 foot away from him the other day, and then he left, and then he'll be gone for a couple days, but then he'll pop up
back,
again.
get hungry.
Yeah, I toss him some carrots, and he goes crazy. Definitely dope.
Hell yeah.
Rabbits, man. I'm about to print a shirt with a rabbit on it because of like I'm growing attached to them for sure.
Hell yeah.
I fucking didn't care about rabbits before ever,
Yeah.
but like I'll just sit out there, dude, and I'll just like chill there and like I just become fascinated. But all right, a rabbit, that would be dope for sure. You ever watch Watership Down?
Oh yeah.
You ever read the book?
No.
Dude, they're both wild. They
I
have a
bet.
new adaptation of Watership Down on Netflix that they just redid.
Oh no shit.
And John Boyega is the voice of Bigwig, I think it is.
Oh man.
And, dude, I don't know why, but I never read in high school or anything like that, but I was infatuated with Watership Down. I thought it was so fucking sick. I loved the movie and how, like, dark and weird it was, and now the new one that they just made is so good, too. So I would suggest watching that if you're a fan of rabbits. But the last thing that so before we get to the last question, I'm curious. If you could have any pinball machine, any price, anything you want, what would it be?
Ooh. That's a toss-up. There's a Williams machine came out in like the golden era of Williams. It's called Whitewater. And like
Whitewater.
Whitewater. It's like a whitewater rafting themed machine.
Really?
It's common. It's like, I mean, they're out there. That or that Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would be like the two.
All right. I'll allow it. Okay, and the last question that I ask everyone is if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. It would absolutely, without a doubt, be Norman Collins, Sailor Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's his real name, Norman Collins?
yeah.
To be honest, I don't know too much about that dude.
That dude, like the whole Christian Audier hype T-shirts with him and Ed Hardy. That stuff was kind of beat, but like that dude's on a whole nother level.
Of tattooing from back in the day, though.
Yeah.
I feel like the Ed Hardy shit, and because I just passed up a documentary on there, and I feel like Ed Hardy is like kind of looked down upon.
Yeah, and it's all because he sold rights to his art for shirts.
But that dude was a gangster.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I should look at some of his
Norman
shit.
Collins is. Whew.
The only Sailor Jerry I know is the alcohol.
Yeah, so that's based upon him.
Yeah, him.
But like, if you read of any of his backstories or any of that, he was like a merchant marine.
Really?
Yeah. He's down in Hawaii and like genius human being.
Wow, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Even outside of tattooing, like wonderful businessman, like outrageously cool.
That's pretty dope. That's a good pick for
Absolutely. It's somebody I take a lot of I don't know, a lot of
sure.
inspiration from. Yeah.
It's understandable. Definitely understandable. Well, dude, I think that our journey has came to an end. I think it was great. I think we had a
Absolutely.
fantastic conversation.
Hell yeah.
And you were nervous about it.
I'm still nervous.
Why are you nervous?
Always nervous, baby. Always anxious.
I feel like any conversation that I have where I don't have to where it's just a bunch of downtime or anything like that. This was a successful conversation.
I feel like it's because we both came from like a similar path. We knew the same people.
I agree.
But-
I agree. I think that you do interesting things. I know that you have your anonymity, but take a second and promote anything you'd like to promote.
Tight. Instagram is at diet DIET _4 OZ diet 40 ounce. Down for prints, down for commissions, and shout out to Dick Latanzi and
Shout out to Dick Latanzi. I'm going to get him on here soon enough.
that Steel Valley homeboy.
Got to get him on here. How long is he in town for?
Until Thursday.
Maybe I'll try to link up with him. Everyone else that's listening, I appreciate it as usual. Hop over to Turner's. They got some merchandise on their website, turnerdairy.net, and their hats are sold out. I'm sorry the hats are sold out. Maybe if you tweet at them or comment enough, they'll do another run. I got one of both, and they're both fantastic. They do, however, have a limited edition Turner's. It's called the Turner... what's it called? Turner Crate. It's called like the Turner's Crate shirt or some shit. I'm sorry about it, but it's a dope ass shirt. It is 2 big ass speakers with like a crate of records and a Turner's Crate upside down holding a record player. It's a limited run shirt. You can only buy it up until August 15th, I believe. But I would definitely check those out. And they got some dope stickers on there. They have a crate die cut sticker that is my favorite so far. But check them out if you would like to. I got mugs. Mugs, you could grab them on I'llCallYouRightBack.com or hit me up. We'll meet up in the city or whatever, and I'll toss you a mug and some stickers. I got some good stuff coming up. I'm going to just leave it at that. So I appreciate everyone listening as usual. Please take a second, rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. If you don't want to buy anything or if you don't want to do anything, this is all free. Just rate, review, and subscribe. That's all I ask of you. 5 stars. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, please keep that negativity out of my life. And I appreciate everyone listening, and I'll call you right back.